But it's been the story of both Chahal and Kuldeep Yadav, and they have been super dominant. Ever since they started things, and we're not just talking through our hat, have a look at these numbers. Oh, I like it. I like it. This took me by surprise. Look at that. That's something you three would enjoy. The Kul-Cha effect. Brilliant. We're going to stick to this one now. And have a look at this. 11 to 40. We're talking about that key phase in the middle overs. And these, I think, are dominant figures.
Absolutely. I think this showed that how dominant the wrist spin is during this time, especially with 5 fielders inside and 2 new balls as well. So every captain would want to have that luxury of having 2 wrist spinners because I think the finger spinners have just gone completely out of the game. Either it's become a defensive, finger spinner has become a defensive option, or you just can't make them bowl 10 overs with 5 fielders inside. So I think wrist spinner is the way to go forward, and I think most of the teams have just realized that. So that's what I think is the way forward, and India is very lucky and very fortunate to have 2 guys who are pretty accurate. Okay, there will be a lot of wrist spinners in the country, but being that accurate, especially with the 5 fielders inside, is something which India should be very happy with.
India are lucky, but I reckon it's a trend worldwide to have wrist spinners and to do well. And just to prove that, looking at the top 5 wicket takers, have a look at this. This is in the middle overs, in overs 11 to 40 worldwide. The top wicket takers since 2017, and all 5 are wrist spinners. And that's not a coincidence.
No, not at all. In fact, Kuldeep would be higher if he would played a few. He missed a few matches in the beginning, so he's otherwise he would have caught up with Chahal. I think Chahal has about 4 or 5 matches on him. But yeah, it's an absolutely dominant statistic, and tells you the way the world game is going, as Gautam is saying.
Where do you what do you think? Given the fact that batsmen are aware of this. It's not like it's a mystery art. We've had in between a few mystery bowlers who don't necessarily have to be wrist spinners. We've got someone like Sunil Narayan, we've talked about him a lot. They had Ajantha Mendis briefly from Sri Lanka. So it's not necessarily always a mystery art, as Gautam mentioned earlier. It's something that you can actually read out of the hand, and yet they're taking so many wickets.
Yeah, but what you mentioned right now, you've got to read it out of the hand, and the batsmen are not able to do that. And that having 5 fielders now inside the ring, if you have a quality spinner, that makes it hard to take singles. Then that puts pressure on the batsman to play the big shot. And if you're not picking the ball from the hand to play that big shot, you're never going to be sure. And that is what somehow these numbers are also suggesting, that batsmen are not able to pick the leg spinners or the wrist spinners from the hand, but because of the 5 fielders inside, the pressure is mounting, and when the pressure is mounting, they are succumbing to that pressure and throwing away their wickets.
But of course, you have to have some quality. We know we've got a wrist spinner at the other end, Adil Rashid, but I reckon the Indians are a little bit more adept to that. And of course, Rashid's probably not quite the quality of a Kuldeep in that sense.
Yeah, more accurate. I think it's very important to be accurate. If you see that unless and until you're not accurate with 5 fielders inside, you would be going for a lot of runs because for first 40 overs, you got to have 5 fielders inside. So it's a difficult art to actually. It's very difficult to be really accurate. So I think the most important thing is that Kuldeep and Chahal is very accurate. But the biggest challenge for both of them will be once they start playing Test cricket, because if you see what Rashid Khan is in T20 and one-day cricket is to what he was against India in Bangalore. Because the thing is, once you start playing consistently in all the 3 forms of the game, what happens is then people start picking you better, because the more they play, the more the opposition will start picking them as well. Because Kuldeep and Chahal doesn't play Test cricket, so obviously they only play the shorter format of the game, so it's difficult for any opponent to pick them. And once Kuldeep starts playing consistently in Test cricket, what happens is then people will start playing against him for the entire day or for a longer duration, and then it becomes easy as well. So the biggest challenge for Kuldeep will be how he does in Test cricket, and then from there on, how does he do in one-day cricket as well.